right, it is a early morning. Do a little project today that I'm pretty good at. I kind of enjoy the work. If you're going to put your house up for sale, if you're going to put your property up for sale, it's really important to come in and kind of straighten things up and make it look good. Curb appeal is very, very important. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Got this nice piece of property that's for sale. Got quite a bit of interest in it. Maintenance on the house, especially the outside, has went downhill for a while now. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to kind of just clean things up. Some ladies came in and they went in, weeded out the flower beds. They look a lot better than they did just even 2 or 3 days ago. But I've kind of been left with some of the big projects. So let's take a look around. This is a beautiful house here in southern Indiana. So there's actually going to be a showing this afternoon. I'll take my leaf blower and I'll blow all these leaves out of here. Things like that. It doesn't seem like it matters, but it does. Now here's a little path coming down through here. It has been overgrown. In fact, the stones along here, you can't even see them. They've disappeared. Oh, I see. It comes right through here. That would make a nice little path going right to the mailbox. So I'll clean that up so we can showcase that a little bit better. We've talked about before on my videos when you landscape how you should always have that nice edge where the mulch is too high and it's coming up on the sidewalk, and it looks okay, but you know, if I get the chance I can dig that out a little bit. We're going to go ahead and power wash all the exposed aggregate here, make it look a lot better. Come down through here. Here's another path. This tree right here needs to be trimmed up a little bit. This path actually goes around and comes onto the deck. So there's the area I'm going to take care of this morning first thing. That is a fire pit area, picnic area. Got a little bridge that goes to it. It's pretty nice, but it's just overgrown. So when the clients come by today and take a look at it for the first time, that's going to look really nice and really inviting. This is the pool, obviously, but it's kind of been ran down. You can see somebody's got a pump in it. Looks like the hose has come off. But I'm going to get all these leaves and stuff off this cover. Go ahead and power wash the concrete, make it look a lot better. This area right here is a total mess. Yeah, keep that in mind. If you're going to put your property up for sale, it needs to look good. That curb appeal is so important right off the bat. When a client pulls up and they look at it for the first time, they don't see a lot of maintenance problems. They just see a nice, beautiful piece of property, a nice home sitting here that looks really, really good. Okay, I've always liked getting up early in the morning and getting a job started. By noon, you already have 6-7 hours in, which is pretty cool. If you want to take off in the afternoon, you've already got a full day's work in, or if you want to put a little extra time in, hey, it's no problem. You got plenty of light left in the daytime. Got started on this fire pit. I want to go ahead and continue. What's important is also you tackle a job like this the right way. I'm taking my little mower first, and I'm kind of doing all the rough stuff. Then I'll take the weed eater, take a shovel, dig out the fire pit, power wash the picnic benches down there, and make it look really nice. And then we got to get on that pool area over there. Okay, got that all cut with the small lawnmower. Now it's time to do a little weed eating. What I found on my weed eater is I got some real tough braided string. I mean, it is unbelievable how it cuts through stuff, but it also throws stuff big time. So I decided it's always better to go ahead and wear my steel chainsaw helmet, and it kind of gives my face a little bit more protection from anything that's going to fly up, like a rock or a stick. Knock your tooth right out of your mouth. Let's get to doing a little weed eating. more final touches and we're going to be ready to move on to another section. Looking pretty good down there. Tell you what, pools are pretty nice. Man, they're a lot of work. If you don't stay on them, it's a real problem. And here comes middle of September. You got to shut it down, not open it up again till Memorial Day. I guess they're pretty nice, but they're a lot of work and they're very expensive. 2.5 hours into it so far, really has made a change. There's clients coming by today around 2 o'clock to look at it. They may show up early. That's why I'm kind of jumping, going from project to project, kind of getting the most important things and working backwards on the list. Pool's looking pretty good. It still has to be power washed. That it looks so much more presentable now than it did just a little bit. So if you look at the pool filter, all the mechanisms, that's probably a heater sitting there, and all the electricity, that still needs to be washed up and cleaned up a little bit better, but it looks so much better just taking that blower and blowing all the leaves and sticks and everything out of there makes it look that much better. Pool cover was completely covered with leaves. It is very inviting right there. Completely different from when I started this morning. I do need to power wash that bridge and those tables. I think the next project I'm going to do, weed eat these stones out here and make this path come around and join to the deck the way it's supposed to. Right here. You can see there's some green, so I'm going to break out the power washer and take off some of this mold that's growing. I mean, that happens. It happens on the spindles. It happens down on the bottom of the doors. This entranceway was just full of leaves, and the cul-de-sac there went through there and blew that all off. Little things like that matter. When a client pulls in for the first time to look at a house, blew the leaves off on that little road, and then you have this nice entrance coming around. It's just to clean up and get everything organized. People don't want to look at a house, see a lot of maintenance problems. If they're a doctor, attorney, probably interested in a big house like this, they don't want to mess with that kind of stuff. To come here and walk around and see that every weekend is going to be nothing but maintenance, that's going to turn them off pretty fast. Projects like this, I call myself the cleaner. If you ever seen some old gangster movies, you know, when there's a mess, they always call the cleaner to come in and fix it. Make everything right. It's kind of what I do. It's another beautiful morning here in southern Indiana. Finishing up some of the landscape maintenance project that I started yesterday. I'm going to go ahead and power wash the concrete around the pool today. Got the fire pit and community area all done yesterday. Okay, so now that the deer are there cruising around, it makes for a good focal point here. On the left-hand side of the road, hello girl. Boy, she's curious. They're pretty friendly here. Oh, there's a little baby. She's already turning dark too. Pretty cool. Oh, another one. Got a little train going across there. Oh, look there, there's a buck. Little buck going across. Anybody else before I get finished here? Oh, another little baby going across. Hello, baby. Oh, another little baby. Well, daggone, there's a whole family around here. Are you guys done photo bombing my shot here? So anyways, on the right-hand side, I already went down through here and trimmed a bunch of limbs out. But see on the left side, see how close it is to the edge of the road? So I'm going to go down through there and trim that out. And that's going to make for a little bit better of an entranceway as you drive back here. It doesn't feel like you're kind of driving into a cave as you come down through here into the property itself. Let me go ahead and start that little project on the left-hand side now that I've got the right done. Hope I don't get ran over by a deer. Okay, I think it looks a lot better. getting that all cleared out, but there's a point where too much privacy can actually work against you as far as security goes. So you want to make sure entranceway, things like that, are wide enough, clear enough that you can identify people coming and going, and that you're not actually going to get surprised coming in and somebody hiding in all the brush everywhere. But I think that looks pretty good. This house right here is up for sale for about $700,000. Now that's in southern Indiana. You take this same house and put it somewhere out in the San Francisco Bay Area, it'd probably sell for about $2.5–3 million. So here in southern Indiana, the prices of homes, even though they have all skyrocketed, is still pretty reasonable, and you get a pretty nice house. $700,000 a house. Now I'd put that much money on property, but not necessarily in a structure. Here's that path I dug out yesterday, which works pretty good. Now that'll settle in and look a lot more natural, but that's important to go ahead and do that. I mean, that's a nice little feature, and it takes you right out here to the mailbox property. So I think that was worth digging out. Power wash the pool concrete, the exposed aggregate around the pool. We'll do the power wash dance. It's very important to just go back and forth, and stay as steady as you possibly can. If you've never power washed before and you don't know what you're doing, if you don't take your time, you'll make it look like a zebra. You'll stripe it, it'll be striped all over the place. It's very important when you got a large area like this to concentrate on doing small sections at a time and make sure they all blend in. Just like pixels on a photograph, there's a lot of little squares, but when you get done, you don't see the squares. It makes one nice picture. I'm getting ready to power wash this, but what I noticed is right around that exterior perimeter, mud is washing down onto the concrete. Now I can go ahead and power wash it, make it look good, walk away from it, but the next time we get a heavy rain, guess what's going to happen right here? So sometimes you got to take the little extra effort so it won't happen again. The problem won't continue to happen over and over. Okay, I got that edge dug out pretty good. Fortunately, it does go around the curve and downhill. If that didn't go downhill, you'd have a real problem. You'd have to put a drain pipe in for sure. Now, don't get me wrong, on a big job like this, whenever you come in and you start doing things like this, what I call the cleaner, there's just too much to do if you try to do everything just right. So you have to just take it in priority. Things you know that really need to be taken care of, you take care of them, and the rest of it, you just have to let it go. Got a helicopter coming in, incoming. These are very important to have because you are blowing so much pressure straight down on the concrete, you never know when something's going to come shooting right back up. Especially when you get into these joints and these cracks in the concrete. You just don't know. So always have a good pair of glasses on. Now, if I was using a gas-powered power washer, I would definitely be having earphones on. This one's not too bad because it's electric, it's pretty quiet. Last thing you want to have on is some big rubber boots. Never, ever power wash in flip-flops. If you power wash in flip-flops, you might as well call the emergency room and tell them you're going to be heading that way today sometime because you're going to have no skin on your toes left. Okay, so you can kind of see anytime I power wash and I come to a concrete joint, I like to go ahead and trim out the whole block. So wherever the joint goes, it usually makes a square, round circle, whatever. I do the joint on both sides all the way around. The reason why is when you power wash back and forth, you don't want to go and hit that joint each time, because if you do, it's going to blow stuff up in your face. So once you get that all trimmed out like that, that way you don't have to hit that joint each time, and it makes the job a lot less messy. That's a professional power washing tip for you. You have to use a lot of caution if you ever power wash a pool cover like that. I mean, they're very heavy duty, but you want to be real careful you don't blow a hole through them. That would cost a lot of money to replace. Also, when you're working around a pool, you got to be careful you don't step off into the pool. Sometimes your mind starts wandering as you're going. It's kind of a monotonous kind of project to do. If you ever stepped out on that, it'd be a real problem. Hopefully it would hold you. If you rip through, you go down. Got the main part of the concrete all power washed. I'm going to roll the cover back, and then there's going to be an area right next to the pool that I got to be real careful about and make sure that I spray away from the pool rather than to spray that dirt right into the water. Because the water looked pretty good. He had it opened up yesterday, and it looked pretty good. Right now, it's time for lunch. The new owners, when they come in, they have a lot less things to do now. Hey, I do appreciate you coming to the channel. It's LAF Space Film Fest, capital LAF Space Film Fest. Hey, if you would, hammer down that subscribe button. I appreciate it. Helps me to do projects like this so I can show them to you just in case you want to put your property up for sale. Hey, this is how you do it. Hey, you have a good day. The cleaner has arrived.